Stefan Woolley from Melbourne, Victoria, qualified tennis coach. We've been working today on the ball toss and some tips that we can give students at all ages. And we're going to be working with a slightly advanced player here and to see what type of drills we can work on so we can hit all the target zones we want to on every serve, taking memoirs and practice from Roger, Serena, hitting a ball off one serve, 1 point, and we want to get it perfectly every time for advanced players. And we're going to do some drills to see how we can perfect this. So the number one tip I'm going to have for advanced players is don't hit the ball unless you love it, because this is the one thing you can keep throwing up and catching until you get the perfect ball toss. Because really, don't serve it if it's too far behind, too far in front. We sort of want a middle point. We want to throw it a good measure from our knee. We want to have it from our knee directly straight up, and we want to release the ball about at our eye level or just before. And we want to get enough height so that when we're hitting on the way up, we see servers like Sam Groff throws his ball and gets into the serve on the way up, which can really help with power if you have some height to yourself. But then we want to add in some spin and things like that. If you're a bit smaller, because we're going to hit up on the ball, sort of like a Sabulkova type of serve, we're going to need a lot of spin, a lot of leg drive to get that ball perfect. So it really helps if we have a perfect ball toss. So the biggest tips is straight from the leg, directly up. We're going to release about eye level. And you want to be about varying between 11 to 1 p.m. on the ball toss, so we can hit every serve from kick to flat to slice. And then when you get really good, you want to start practicing on getting off one straight ball toss where you see Serena does it. But then again, not everyone in the world is Serena Williams, but hopefully we can get to a point where you're getting around that variable there. All right, so what we're going to do now is a great activity for juniors learning to correlate both their arms and the racket for a ball toss, which is what you really want to have with your ball toss. You want to have the ball toss leading the serve the whole time, but you also want your racket there in position so you're not waiting on it for too long, because you want to hit directly when the ball is in perfect position. So this is a great activity we do for juniors and older players, advanced players who really want to get both working together, which is called Bullseye. So what we want to do is use two balls, one for the racket and one for our throwing arm. And when we throw up, we want to see if we can do it in our serve and see if we can hit the other ball. It takes a bit of practice, but hopefully you can get the ball directly on. We're going to see if Alex can do a couple here and see if he can really nail this down on getting both wings correlating. So you can see that he's thrown a great ball toss, but it's gone too high into the air. We want to make sure they're about level on the way up. Good, so he's nicked that one there. We can also see on this ball toss, we want to go straight from the leg directly up, which is what he's working well with. And we can also notice on this serve, you want to see your throwing arm only have one direct action. You don't want to have crunches or nims in your arm. You want to have just from the shoulder directly up and down. It should be one motion. There shouldn't be any clenching between here, so you can have a nice fluid motion. So now we've done a bullseye, we're going to work straight into the racket. So a lot of people, a lot of coaches, what they do is with the ball toss, they try and do activities that just has the ball toss in it, which can work for some, throwing the ball and hoping it lands on the string or the line in front of you, which can work, but do not overdo it, because the problem that happens is the serve is two parts. It's got your hands, you're both hitting hands. You've got your hitting hand and your throwing arm. And if you're just doing one, this isn't active because it needs to be fluid. You want both to be working together. So really use the bullseye activity. And the key tips we're going to put Alex here is the ball toss wants to go slightly out in front, and we want to contact it between 12 and 1 for a flat serve down the tee. See if you can do that. Okay, so what I've done here is we're going behind Alex now to see where this ball toss is actually landing and where we're hitting the ball. So we can see when it goes up and down, he's taking it great from the knee. It's going one perfect motion from the shoulder, and that's exactly what we want on the ball toss. We don't want any hesitation, and we want it directly to come down. So let's see if he can go straight from the knee and directly up. We hit it about 12, 1 o'clock, that area with our continental grip. Okay, so if you look at that one there, that's perfectly right on par. If you imagine a clock right above Alex's head here, it's about 12 and 1 o'clock. That's directly where we want to hit it with this continental grip going down the tee. And even if we're looking for a wide service slider, we can even adjust the ball more to 1, 2 p.m. for a practice. So you see that's going a natural follow through out to the left for the right-hand service. And between 1 and 2 o'clock on the ball toss really helps us get around that ball and put a big curvature on getting right out to the fence. Our goal on this wide serve is to really take the ball toss when it's coming slightly down and taking it right out to the fence with lots of side spin. Really get your opponent off the court. Even get right out to that fence off this ball toss. So you can see that he's naturally wanting to go so far out, but we really want to adjust the pace here. This is what I was saying about correlating both the throwing arm and the hitting arm, because if they're not together, faults happen and they will go too far or too short. So they really want to key up together. So you can see that's making its way across. We might want to adjust our ball slightly to come out the tips of the fingers and go just out there instead of straight up. So we can see that one there perfectly went through the goals we have set out. When you're practicing this, you want to put out 2 different sets of cones and have a little, make it smaller or larger depending on how good you are at this slider. And you want to get right out to the fence. Your goal is to get the side fence. The biggest thing you want to look for on these 2 types of serve is a flat one is 1 bounce on its way up, making it to the back fence. And the slider, we really want to get 1 bounce curving into the side fence of your tennis court. So we can see that one's making its way out. It's curved into the side fence. We want to make it even shorter. When you get really good, you can see how Djokovic does it. He gets it really ridiculously sliced. It's going so close to the net, it's almost unbelievable. So if you get to that level, then you're doing really well. Okay, so we've seen on this ball toss, which is really quite solid. It's going from his knee, and his arm is going straight up with no clenches in between, which is perfect for making a fluid motion. You can see naturally the ball toss sort of pushes him back a slightly bit, so let's see if we can get some more forward motion to push into the serve. So let's see if we can make that arm go a bit more straighter. Yep, so our goal in our serve is to fall right in front of the court and not falling backwards or off the side. So we want to have a nice straight ball toss slightly directly in front. Good. So you can see that he's finishing in the court and he's getting a lot of power on that serve. So hopefully you enjoyed that video. Please share and subscribe. New videos coming soon. Stefan Woolley, qualified tennis coach, Melbourne, Victoria. Hopefully I taught you something. See you guys next time.